Hello and welcome to Block 14's Tabata workout. For anyone who's done this in our virtual sessions, virtual morning workouts, you know what you're about to get yourself into. But for anyone who's new to Tabata, the workout is going to follow a pretty set routine. It's 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off times 3. You do the same exercise for each of those 3 intervals, and then you switch it up for a new exercise for another 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We do 3 sets of 3 exercises, 20 on, 10 off, and then you get a longer rest. We're going to go through this workout twice on this recording, but for anyone who's done it virtually before, I don't know if we've ever made it through the full 2 times, so that can either be something to work up to, or the second time you can do 2 by 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and just take longer breaks by skipping that 3rd interval each exercise. So just like every online workout, we're going to link to a warm-up because this recording isn't including a warm-up, and we want you to have water nearby, and you're going to need some light dumbbells nearby. I don't think you need any other equipment for today's workout other than some light dumbbells, and of course you can do it without dumbbells if you want. We also suggest you put your own music on, as we do not put music on these, otherwise we get copyright infringements when we load onto YouTube. So I'm going to start sharing my screen, and here you can see my Tabata. We're all good, we're all happy, and we're going to start. I'll go over the first exercise. We're doing a squat punch. We'll do that 3 times, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And we'll get started in 3, 2, 1, and go. Whether you're doing the variation on the left or the variation on the right, thinking about sitting your hips down and back every time you sit into that squat. It doesn't matter how deep you're going. Generally, the deeper you go, the more pain you'll get in your knees if you're someone with sore knees. But if you can get down, go ahead and rest, 10 seconds off. We're doing the squat punch again right after this, and go. If you can get down deep into that squat, go right ahead. Five more seconds here before your next 10-second break. And rest. And last round of squat punches start now. Time is on. 20 seconds of work left here in squat punches. Going at whatever rate you feel like you can hold for the rest of this workout. This is only exercise 1. We have a lot more coming. And rest. When we come back, you can keep those dumbbells in your hand. We are doing a push press, which is an overhead press, a shoulder press, usually light dumbbells. And go. I know this is the first time we've done this exercise, so you might have to stand and watch what you're doing to get the hang of it. But basically, you're squatting down a tiny bit, and you're letting the force of extending your hips send those dumbbells up into the air. Rest. And go. If you don't want to do an overhead movement, you can do this slow march that is the variation on the right that I'm demonstrating. Here you want to really control through your lower abs to control your pelvis every time you lift a leg up. And then adding that opposite arm, opposite leg coordination is always good to get your brain going. And rest. 1 more round of push presses or those slow marches. And go. Time is on. Pushing up through your heels in that push press to send those dumbbells into the air. Your shoulders will get tired, but a lot of the force here is coming from your hips and only a little bit is coming from your shoulders. And rest. Next up, we have dumbbell swings. So you can put those heavy dumbbells down. I'll pause the video here so that you have a bit more time to put the dumbbells down. And you're going to have one dumbbell. So whether it's the same weight that you just used, or you can go a bit heavier for these dumbbell swings. If you don't want to do the swing, you can do this variation on the right, which is just a deadlift. Time is on. Go ahead and get started. If you've already started, you just get a few extra seconds. Lucky you. And rest. So in both of them, thinking about having that flat back, not collapsing through your spine. And go. Pretending you have that dowel on your back, squeezing up with your glutes, not forward with your glutes. Sometimes we'll squeeze too far forward and we'll arch our back, pushing our hips forward. Whether you're in the deadlift or the dumbbell swing, you want to squeeze those glutes so that you're tall and not forward. Rest. One more round of dumbbell swings. And go. Or deadlifts. In those deadlifts, don't go further than about your mid shin or as far as you can, sitting your hips back. Sometimes we want to get the dumbbells all the way to the ground, but then we end up just collapsing through our back. And rest. This is a longer break for you. Get some water, shake it out, do whatever you need to do to find your life and set up for the next circuit, which will get started here in about 20 seconds. I will go through the 3 exercises with you before starting so that you know what to expect, and then we'll get started. So the first exercise is burpees. You can do them from the chair or the ground or anywhere in between. You don't have to add a push-up, but adding that jump or at least a power up is good. And then the second exercise of this circuit is Heisman on the left, or a little crab shuffle on the right. And the third exercise of this set is a Nordic Skier. So opposite arm, opposite leg, either with impact or without. Both are great. We're going to rewind the video now that you know what's coming. You get ready in 3, 2, 1, and go. Time is on with your first 20 seconds of burpees here. Making sure that you step your feet away from your hands, not your hands away from your feet. That just makes it way harder. And that you stay stable through your core, trying not to let that pelvis rock. Time, rest. And go back into those burpees or whatever variation thereof you've decided. Remembering to keep those shoulders completely stacked on the wrists. I was about to say hands. I guess it's same, different. Shoulders over wrists, rest. One more round of burpees here in 3 seconds. And go. Well, often when we get tired, we'll have the wrists in front of the shoulders. And that actually makes it harder both on your shoulders and your core. So I'm just looking out for you here, just making sure you don't do any extra work. 3 more seconds here, and then you get a rest. Go ahead and rest. Next up, we're doing those Heismans. So you'll be off the ground, or yeah, you'll be standing up on your feet, not on your hands, and going step, step, high knee, step, step, high knee. If you're doing the variation on the right here, you're just doing a little lateral shuffle. Go whatever pace you want to. You don't have to match my speed. And then your hands are going internal rotation, external rotation to open up those shoulders. And rest. And go. Heisman round 2. With this high knee, it's just a little pause, step, step, pause, step, step, pause. You want to be lifting with your core. I probably say that so much, but it's true almost any time you lift. You're going to use your hip flexor a bit, rest, but you really want to brace with that core. and go. And rest. Next up, we have 3 rounds of your Nordic Skiers before a nice long break between circuits. 2, 1, and go with those Nordic Skiers at whatever pace you want. You can go Tessa pace, you can go me pace, or you can go somewhere in between. The same arm that goes back is the arm that goes, no, the same leg that goes back is the arm that goes up. There we go. Not to confuse you more than you probably already are. And rest. And go. Round 2 Nordic Skiers have started. And rest. 1 more round of those starting in 7 seconds. And go. And rest. Here's your longer rest here. We'll give you 30 seconds before we even start showing you the next round of exercises. So it'll be about a 45-second rest. Find some water, shake it out, get ready for the next set. Now, I'm only a little bit sorry, but this 3rd set is kind of brutal. And the first exercise, don't go yet. We're going to just show you what you're doing is a high knee with a twist. So you're just twisting those arms from one leg to the other. If you have any problems with twisting because of back injuries or weak backs or weak bones in your back, then don't do the twist. Just do a high knee march. Exercise 2 is a jumping jack. Oops, that's the second time I've done that. Of any impact level that you like. You can go high impact, you can go low impact, however you want to get that heart rate up doing a jumping jack. And exercise 3 is some air squats or some speed sit to stands. Again, going at whatever pace you want. Tessa is really banging them out here. I'm rather impressed. Going at whatever speed gets your heart rate up, but that you feel like you can keep doing. Okay, we're going to get started here in 3 seconds with your high knee twist. I was 10 seconds back. Oops. Okay, there we go. Time is on. High knee twist here. I really want you to think about driving your knee and your toes up to the sky, but not your chest down to your knees. If your knees don't get to parallel, that is okay. I'd rather have a little bit lower with good form and good tempo than higher with bad form. And rest. And go. High knee twist round 2, or just this high knee march without the twist. You can go at medium impact, which would be high knees without a twist, but still fast, or the low impact, just a march, no twist. All variations are good. Do what feels right to you. And rest. 1 more round of those. And go. Knees up, toes up, driving those knees to the sky, but not letting your chest flop down toward your knees. Stay tall through your core. It's like someone is pulling you to the ceiling. And rest from the top of your head. Next up, we are going into jumping jacks in 3, 2, 1, and go. Whatever impact level you want, whatever intensity you want is good. You can even go one leg out, one arm up if you prefer that. I like to go opposite arm, opposite leg, but you could do same arm, same leg if you want. And go, or rest. Don't go. And now go. And rest. One more round of jumping jacks. In 3, 2, 1, and go. And rest. We have 3 rounds of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, air squats and or sit to stands coming up. 3, 2, 1, and go. Trying to match Tessa's pace if you want, or going at whatever pace you feel like will get your heart rate up, but that you can still finish a minute of work by the end of this session. We're almost done round 1 of this workout. Pushing up through your heels and rest. And go. And rest. One more round here, and then you get a nice long break. 2, 1, and go. Last round of speed squats, 20 seconds here, team. Keep it up. Pushing up through those heels, staying strong through the core. When we get tired, we have a tendency to collapse down through the back. I really want your depth to come through bending your hips and bending your knees, not by just bringing your chest to the ground. And rest. That was round 1. I hope you're feeling fresh. Just kidding. I hope you're feeling hot and sweaty and like you've worked. We are going to go do that one more time in about 30 seconds. I am going to record the exact same thing, 3 by 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, 3 exercises per circuit, 3 rounds per exercise. We haven't done that. Well, at least I haven't done that on a morning workout with you. So if you want to skip the middle set, or you want to skip the middle interval of each exercise, that's a really good way of making the second round maybe more doable than just killing yourself by doing it all again. If you want to do it all again, all the power to you. Email me and let me know how it goes. We'll get started here in 10 seconds with your squat punches. And so get those light dumbbells or do it without dumbbells. 3, 2, 1, and go. You can go slower this second round through 2 if you want, or jump right in, 2 feet in, and just do the same thing. What I do want you to think about is that RPE rating of perceived exertion. Whether out of a scale of 10, go ahead and rest. That was good timing. It said 10 when it came up on the screen. How hard you're working out of 10. And go. 10 being it's the hardest thing you've ever done. You can't keep going. 0 being you're on the couch, you're not exercising at all. For a Tabata, working somewhere between a 5 and an 8 is probably good. You might sometimes get a bit over 8. I don't think you'll ever be below 5 in a Tabata, maybe the first couple exercises before you've fatigued yourself. And rest. We're going one more round of squat punches. And go. So if you are finding that you're working higher than that kind of 7, 8 range out of 10, maybe backing off, taking a little extra rest, or finishing this workout early, maybe only doing the first circuit twice, or maybe the first and second circuit twice, and rest. When we come back from this, we're doing a push press. So that's where you have your dumbbells and you're going overhead, but your dumbbells are going overhead because your hips are extending. And go. Again, I would recommend probably the same weights here as your squat punches, pretty light. Well, these can go a bit heavier than 5 pounds if you want, if you have it, because your hips are helping you with the work and you all have strong shoulders. If you don't like overhead movements and rest, go ahead and do the high knee march on the right. And go. Still thinking about that flat back, pretty much always thinking about that flat back. So having the back of the head, shoulders, and sacrum aligned in the squat and as you press up. And rest. Next up, we're doing dumbbell swings or deadlifts. So I'll let you get your, I think we are. It's another push press. I'm sorry. That was on me. Second time through and I'm already losing track. You knew though. You caught my mistake. Okay, now we're switching to dumbbell swings or deadlifts. So I'll pause when I start the video again. We'll be 6 seconds away from dumbbell swings, so only one dumbbell, but you can probably go heavier, or deadlifts, which you can probably also go heavier, but 2 of them. Time is on. 3, 2, 1, go. Thinking about that flat back, sitting those hips back in either the hip hinge, that dumbbell swing, or in the deadlift. Both are mainly a hip dominant movement, which just means most of the movement is coming from your hip, and your knees basically just bend and rest to offset the balance of your hips pushing you back, pulling you back, I guess. And go. And rest. One more round of those. Or take a rest if you want. A little extra long rest here. And go if you're going. And rest. Here is your long rest. When we get back from this break, we're starting with burpees. So put those dumbbells down. We don't need them anymore. We're done for the day. You can thank them. They've served you well. We have, I think about 10 seconds left of this rest, just over, before we get down on those burpees. And if you're ready, time is on. If you're not ready, take some extra rest, or maybe do this 20 seconds on and then take the next 20 seconds off and just take an extra little break. Again, wrists below shoulders every time you go down, whether you're on the chair or on the ground or wherever you are in between. Rest. And go. Listening to your body to decide if you want to add that jump or take it out. Breathing out as you come up, whether you jump or not. Exhaling on the work is usually a good choice. Not always, but usually. Rest. Next up, we are doing I'm really bad at counting. Did we do another burpee? More burpees. Next up after this, we're doing Heismans. I'm going to try and be better at counting. I get distracted when I talk about technique, and then my brain's not thinking about how many reps or sets we've done. Then I just don't know. Rest. Next up, we are doing Heismans. So it's that lateral step, step, pause, step, step, pause. And go, or the lateral crab walk shuffle, just adding that internal and external rotation of your arms or your shoulders. Only going as far as is comfortable. Don't ever force internal or external rotation. And rest. 2 more rounds of that. And go. And rest. 1 more round of this exercise. And go. After this exercise, though, you're getting 3 rounds of Nordic Skiers. And rest. Next up, Nordic Skiers. And go. Again, if you want to take a little extra break, go for it and just let the video run. Don't do this last round of Nordic Skiers. Or you can just skip ahead in the video because this is pre-recorded. Just skip all the Nordic skiers altogether and start with the last circuit. Rest. 2 more rounds of Nordic Skiers. And go. And rest. 1 more round of Nordic Skiers. Going at whatever pace you feel is good for that kind of 7 out of 10 relative perceived exertion. So a 7 out of 10 means maybe you're going at 70%. Your heart rate's definitely elevated. You're definitely sweating. Your breathing rate's elevated, but you don't feel like you're going to collapse from exertion. And rest. This is a nice long rest here, 30 seconds, or maybe a bit more if I pause the video. When we get back, we are starting with those high knee twists or whatever variation you want to do. So either a high knee without the twist or just that high knee march. And we'll get started in 5 seconds. I'll give you 5 extra seconds rest here. 2, 1, and go. High knee twist or high knee march or high knee without that twist. If you have osteoporosis, not twisting is usually a good idea, especially if it's in your spine. But if you have osteoporosis in your knees, you maybe don't want to be doing high impact jumps anyways. And rest. You should probably do that low impact march. And go. And rest. 1 more round of high knees. And go. Driving your knees and your toes to the sky, pulling with your core, whether you're marching or high impact. Rest. Next up, you're doing jumping jacks or whatever variation, 2 legs, 1 leg, high impact, low impact, however you want to do it. And time is on, or 1 leg, 1 arm. And rest. And go. You know, we're like 90% done this workout, and I just remembered I don't think I told you to have water nearby. I might have. But hopefully you figured that out by now. And rest. I hope you haven't just been not drinking water this entire time. And go. Last round of jumping jacks here. Or maybe taking that little extra rest. That is a-okay. And rest. Next up, we have 3 rounds of air squats or air sit to stands. Can you even call them air sit to stands if you're sitting? I don't know. We're going to call them that. Maybe going a little bit slower than Tessa this round, but if you want to try and keep up and push yourself, go for it, as long as you don't feel like fainting or like any of your muscles are screaming in bad pain. And rest. And go. And rest. 1 more round of these, 20 seconds left of work here. If you want to just take extra rest, start your cool down, go for it, and go. But if you've made it this far, maybe you just better push through that last 20 seconds. It's really up to you. Go based on how your body's feeling, how motivated you're feeling. And rest. You made it to the end of 2 rounds of Tabata. I am so proud of you. I hope you are hot and sweaty and feel like you've had a good workout. We will see you on our next video.